Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today I'm going to go over kind of the overall market. We're going to look at some ratios, go over some ratios. That's what tells us our relative value, how it's changing, what are commodities doing in relationship to stocks. We want to see commodities outperforming stocks. We want to see this ratio breaking downtrend lines or patterns and showing us that we are getting what we want to have. Commodities were at a 100-year low against stocks. What does that mean? It means that money rotated into stocks and bonds, and whatever money they printed and gave to the banks made its way into those areas. We can see it in the ratio. And what that does, or what that did, is created the best opportunity in commodities that I've ever seen in my lifetime. It also provided a very good opportunity in platinum. Platinum was another one that I think is very good for an investment opportunity. And what we're seeing is we're seeing all these ratios unwind. They're unwinding favorably for commodities and unfavorably for stocks. And that's going to have ramifications on certain things. You might see the dollar go up as people start to rotate money out of things and into the dollar or whatnot. We have a lot of inflation worldwide. It's a very good mix for commodities and precious metals. I think precious metals and commodities and even real estate are going to do very well worldwide. So I'm going to get in here. I'll give you my financial opinion. Please don't use it as advice. Just use it as information to make educated decisions on what you might want to do with your portfolio. And seek a financial advisor if you have to. I am not a financial advisor. I can't give advice, but I can tell you what I'm doing and what I see. So here we go, guys. We're going to jump in here. I'm starting with the dollar, and the dollar's been getting a little bit stronger here. This is a expansion phase of real estate in both of these cycles here. We've got one that just started here. It goes up in the beginning, the dollar, and then it declines. We are coming up to, I think, this resistance and support resistance line, and we're probably going to touch this up here and then eventually roll over. There is a possibility that we even go all the way to that white line up there if it gets that high and then roll over. So that's kind of what my, I guess would be. And when the dollar starts to go down, it's a tailwind, a huge tailwind for all of commodities. So the commodities are already moving. People are positioning in commodities, and I think eventually the dollar will fall against other currencies, this DXY index. The 10-year yield is down today, but I think what we're doing is we're breaking out. We're going to do a retest move, and then we're gone. And we're breaking this large downtrend line of over about 40 years. So this is going to be a paradigm-changing, game-changing investment difference coming up in this new environment. Looking at commodities themselves, priced in dollars, it's been just an absolute rocket ship show. Here's the daily candlesticks. The past few days, just ridiculous how this entire week has been ridiculous, guys. It's just launched higher. This is the weekly candlestick here. Absolutely ridiculous. Gold's done very well, but I'm going to go back to the ratios here. Well, actually, I'll just touch on it. Gold's breaking out of its pattern to the upside, priced in dollars. Remember, this is a ratio. Gold being priced in dollars, a commodity priced in dollars is a ratio priced in dollars. Silver priced in dollars is moving higher. That looks good for a big move higher, and platinum's moving up. And that looks fantastic for a move higher. So that all looks really good. The XAU to gold ratio looks good to absolutely crush it to the upside. Once this thing gets moving and breaks out of this pattern, gold and silver miners are going to do absolutely incredible things, which is great. Looking at crude oil priced in dollars, it's done very well. It's just cruising higher, much higher. We're at $115 a barrel. Natural gas is sitting on top of its massive pattern. It's just relaxing. The cheetah's resting before it moves massively again. So that one looks good. Getting into some of the ratios, I'm going to move down here and get some of the ratios knocked out. CRB to S&P 500 ratio. I said that we're putting in a bottom here. We are moving on up from that bottom. I said that this is going to accelerate because money's going to go into commodities and get drawn out of stocks. That's the rotation. Downtrend line broken. We zoom in on the right-hand side here, and that's exactly what we're seeing. We're starting to see this accelerate to the upside. We're seeing commodities go up in price and stocks go down. The relative value changes dramatically under those scenarios. The purchasing power of commodities is going up at a ludicrous level against stocks. So everything looking good there. This is the platinum to gold ratio. Platinum is starting to outperform gold. That's why it's got that green candlestick, and the ratio's going to start to go up here. So I think platinum will outperform gold in an inflationary environment, and it's right in front of us. That's what I expect. Now, I know that there's war and other things, and sometimes people prefer gold and silver as money. So we'll see what happens there. Platinum to palladium ratio, it's continuing to go lower. Palladium is 60% comes from Russia. So I do expect this to eventually turn around when Russia eases or pulls away from the war. But I don't know when that will be. Platinum to silver. Platinum's outperforming silver. It's going to break to the upside here. That's what we're seeing. We had the return move, and I think we'll see a big move to the upside for that ratio. The gold to silver ratio is compressing, favorable for silver, which means it's going to head lower. So that's what I'm seeing there. I'm looking for a drop in this where silver outperforms gold. This is just palladium priced in dollars. I threw this in here. Up 5.8% roughly. Palladium, yeah, again, 60% is comes from Russia, and this thing's rocketing higher. Dow Jones Industrial Average and gold. What we're seeing is a decline in this ratio, which means that gold is outperforming the Dow Jones Industrial Average. I think that this is going to go all the way back down to probably 1.5, 2 at the bottom of this, and we may overshoot a little bit. So it compresses downward under a expansionary phase of real estate. It'll come back under a recovery phase, and then it's going to compress again under this expansionary phase of real estate that we are in. The gold to oil ratio, I'm sure you've seen it break. We are now down to 16.9. This is compressing. It's another form of evidence saying that we're in a commodity bull market. Zooming out, you can see that we've been in this big channel going across for the gold to oil ratio. Here's your channel that I'm talking about, and we are breaking that to the downside, favorable for oil. What we are going into is that we are going to have the gold to oil ratio. It's going to continue to compress, favorable for oil, I think. You can see it coming down. We could compress all the way to a 6-to-1 ratio. With gold being a moving target, oil is going to move up even faster and compress. This is going to be a huge move in energy. I also think we're going to see a huge move in uranium. Here is the copper to gold ratio. Looks like we're firming up on the right-hand side where copper's starting to outperform, but we're still in this sideways movement. Going on down, we're going to look at some other things here. I'll do an overall market one here, but this doesn't look good. It does not look good. Here's lumber. Lumber is breaking to the upside here. It's right at resistance. It's trying to break here. So that one's done real strong. Nickel's on fire in dollars, just absolutely ripping higher. This guy looks ridiculous. Here's your break as you rip higher. Palladium is another one that's ripping higher. We've got cocoa futures. This would be an opportunity if you guys want to look at something. And I don't know necessarily how to invest in it, but this is all the way back to 1980. You got the big move here, a resistance line. We're going to go all the way up and break that and go to the upside. Wheat's already broken. You can see this thing rocketing higher. What this is a long-term 1970 pattern all the way here. We've broken everything and we're just rocketing. Wheat is associated with Russia and the war as well. Soybeans is breaking all-time highs. Basically, we're right there at almost all-time highs. And that's broken the pattern all the way back in the 1970s as well. This is corn futures. It's also up at all-time highs almost. And everything's looking really good. Copper priced in dollars continues to move higher. We've broken out of this pattern there. That looks fantastic. Looking at the global price index of all commodities. This is up at all-time highs. The producer price index by commodity. This thing looks ridiculous. It's broken to the upside. Everything is looking absolutely ridiculous, guys. But that's what I've got for. Oh, here's aluminum. Aluminum looks really good too. It's been rocketing higher. This is a double booty bottom, just moving ludicrous speeds. Everything looks really good in commodities, guys. I mean, it's the channel's positioned quite well. If I had to buy something right now, I'd buy uranium. I still think that has one of the best values. I think you can find pockets. There's a couple of aluminum companies I like. ACH is one of them. There's some fertilizer, IPI. I really like that one a lot. And there's pockets all over the place that I think you can find good buys. Energy service companies look really good right now as well. And every time I start looking at a lot of these patterns, these commodities, I'm like in disbelief because I've been waiting for this to happen. I was an early investor, 2018, 2019. I'm like, the expansion phase is coming. I'm going to make a lot of money doing this. I created a YouTube channel in 2020 in August, just because I was complaining so much that a lot of these guys didn't know what they were talking about, that I could do it better. So I said, you know what? Let's put it to the test. And I created the channel. And here I am, helping all you guys out with knowing how to read markets. And if you guys like the content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.